Hey, this I do this for real. And side note, I do this for a living and for fun. So when you ask me what I do for fun, this.
Okay, lovely people, we are back again with part 3 of Sacred Contracts. So, let me just give you guys this quick disclaimer, okay? Your girl is going through it. Your girl is going through it, but it's okay because we're going to get through it, alright? So, take all mistakes. You probably hear me stumbling over words. You probably hear me being like, ugh. And I may have to take breaks because I am dealing with ascension right now. And technically, I don't supposed to be recording today because my mouth hurts. However, here I am. The only way to get through it is to push through. So, here we go. Sacred Contracts Part 3. We left off talking about sacred contracts in human relationship. Contracts with others don't always result in a romantic situation. It could be a part of the process, but above all, you're meant to work together on issues and problems that surpass your personal lives. So don't always think the contracts is about, soulmates or twin flames, or we'll get into all that later, but you have a contract with every individual that plays a part in your life, that you cross paths with in some way, somehow, some form, some fashion. Again, we'll get into all that. That kind of work can it can be intimate and it can be loving, but at times it can require blunt honesty. No one can see life totally. There's a blind spot in the soul where you have to depend on the one you love to see you for what you can't see for yourself. Because life is complex with so much to see, we have contracts with people. The term soulmate is viewed as one ideal romantic partner, but in fact, we have many soulmates that play different roles in our lives. The noble friend, not destined but required to meet. You have the friend, you have the person you went to school with. You form different contracts and you have different types of soulmates with people. I have a soulmate best friend. I have a few actually. I have soulmate sisters. I have, so on and so forth. Like I said, we'll get into more of that later. But it goes on to talk about no one in life is met by accident, and when or if part of your contract, no matter the time apart, the person will resurface and you will fulfill the unfinished business of your contract. Real creativity is based on a solid foundation of knowledge and discipline. None of us belong in everyone's life. The absence of electricity between people is as obvious as its presence. Animated connections is a way to determine whether someone belongs in your life. It is a kind of electricity that occurs between two people when the energy of life kicks in. Animated connections also include those we have a strong dislike for. Even the petty tyrants teach us a lesson. I know that's but yeah, even even the petty people, they teach us lessons. The ones who push our buttons the most and make us see in them the very qualities we dislike most about ourselves. In terms of our contract, the petty individuals are just as significant and helpful as your most beloved noble friends. So chapter 2 goes into talking about contracts and masters. Your contract, along with all subcontracts that constitute it, is not an end in itself. It is a mean to an end, a plan to help you develop your divine potential. Think of your sacred contract as a life course where you're meant to learn many lessons. In the beginning, it's not best to narrow down your purpose because it's new. You must explore the course before you can just come to a conclusion of your purpose. Our intuition, when we listen and trust it, will guide us on the right path each time. Just as our dreams can help us solve our problems if we pay attention to them. It was once stated by Jung that nothing has ever lost in the psyche. Nothing was ever lost in the psyche. Women can rediscover and act on their inner powers, and men too. We all must be mindful of inner thoughts and actions so we may not hurt ourselves or others. We are meant to learn to rely on our inner voice and ourself, the intuitive sense of where to go and how to proceed in life. Our willingness to accept our contracts and learn from it sets us up in a position of personal power and vulnerability from external influences. Your contract can't be reduced to just one thing, one job, one relationship, or one goal. We all have many tasks to carry out. Your sacred contract is an agreement your soul makes before you're born, where you promise to do certain things for yourself, others, and your divine purpose. You have to discover what it is you're meant to do, and the divine promises to give you the guidance you need through indicators. Your sacred contract subjects you to the laws and order of the greater state, that of the divine. All of creation follows rules that govern and maintain the flow and energy of life. It also speaks on how in humanity, we have the most widely accepted subcontract, the Ten Commandments. Most people have heard of the Ten Commandments, but I want to get into something. I want to share some comparisons between earthly and sacred contracts. So in a legal contract, two parties agree to participate in some task or to hold themselves accountable to the same commitments for a mutually beneficial reason. In a sacred contract, an individual and the divine commit to a mission that promises to expand that individual's spiritual consciousness as well as further the expression of the divine on earth. In a secular contract, you commit to doing what you must to fulfill the terms of the contract legally. You may also agree to work with subcontractors or obtain raw materials you need to complete the agreed-on task. In a sacred contract, the divine guarantees that all materials or energy that are essential to completion of your task will be provided. These provisions can include anything from receiving necessary earthly capital to being guided into certain relationships or developing an illness. A legal contract holds you responsible for the quality of product or a project. You warrant that you are qualified for the task. Although you have everything you need within you to fulfill your sacred contract, you will not be provided with everything you want. You will probably have to learn that you have the inner resource to do what you need to do. You will have to learn your strengths and capacity to push yourself beyond your apparent limitations. Here's another one. In a business contract, work is offered in exchange for some kind of support, usually financial, often in the form of an advance or a binder. Some contracts provide regular payment throughout the term of the contract as a certain sub-clause are fulfilled. You may be promised certain future bonuses such as royalties, residuals, or stock options, and you may receive certain secondary advantages including on-the-job training, expense, insurance, and other benefits. In a deal between a writer and a publisher, for example, the publisher may also agree to promote your book in a number of ways with advertising and or a tour. In a sacred contract, your payment is in spiritual capital, in insight, purpose, self-understanding, and the attainment of your spiritual attributes such as compassion, selflessness, and faith. Your sacred contract is supported by divine guidance, what we might call a heavenly bank account on which you can draw for inspiration and energy to complete your assigned task. In addition, you may receive unexpected infusions of grace from time to time to help you complete your task. A sacred contract is a learning process and therefore cannot be broken. It commits you to developing your inner consciousness and your understanding of how to work with forces greater than your own personal will. Our personal and spiritual growth benefits others around us. We learn, among other things, that we are here to help each other. Because a contract is an opportunity to empower your spirit, you are bound by higher laws to pursue that process. You are often given more than one opportunity to complete a learning process. Each time you try to avoid an opportunity or challenge, the consequence becomes more severe. As you progress in understanding the terms of your contract and what you have agreed to learn, you may discover that what you thought was a contract to develop your personal potential to become better at your work is actually a contract to expand your divine potential. Although your contract hasn't changed, your understanding of it can, and it may feel to you like a renegotiation. Although we have agreed to certain terms, it may be those terms evolve as we evolve, and that even the divine doesn't know exactly how things will turn out. A sacred contract also includes the element of choice. For all that the divine provides, you have the complete choice about whether to view the provisions as a blessing or as a burden. You may choose to delay meeting the terms, but you can't avoid them altogether. The choice in how you do things and how much suffering is in your hands. You can choose to learn by wisdom or by woe. That's physical and symbolic. The way that learning the power of forgiveness is an example I'm going to use. It's essential to your spiritual path. People will play a role in your life that is necessary for you to figure out. And through interactions, you will learn or have to make a conscious decision on whether to forgive them. It's easier to forgive because if we think symbolically, yes, forgiving is a greater challenge. However, that difficult moment will bring you to a path of peace. Resentment feels good at the moment. However, let's read it symbolically. It can result in a greater price when we harm ourselves physically, mentally, or emotionally by holding on to that resentment. Refusing a spiritual task or lesson will only hurt you because it is repetitive. So with all that being said, let's be mindful how we go about playing every role in our lives. Let's begin to really look towards our contracts and try to find insight. We have to go deep within. The thing about spirituality is it's infinite. There's always growth. There is no end. There is no, okay, you've made it here, so let's stop. There's always room to learn more. There's always elevation. There's always ascension. And it's so worth it. You have to remain focused on what it is that you're doing, which is going within, reaching your higher self, finding your purpose, helping others achieve theirs, and so on and so forth. I am going to wrap up part 4 now, because again, y'all, I was not supposed to be doing this today. So, I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope you're learning something. I would love to continue on. I'm not sure when the next video will be, maybe the next 2 or 3 days I'll do another one. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You can drop some comments about what you think about it. If you have questions, drop those in the comments as well. And everybody stay safe, be blessed, continue to elevate, continue to dig deeper, continue to push your limitations, and continue to exercise your choice.